So in this series of videos, we are going to look at how we can use R to reorganize an experimental data set that we obtained from a quantitative real-time PCR experiment and make a graph like this by writing some codes in R. We're also going to perform some statistical analysis and try to put the error bars, significance values, and the data points as you can see over here. So without further ado, let's get started. The first thing that you need to do is go to this website. The link is going to be provided in the description, and you need to install R and RStudio. So R is the programming language which you need to install in your system, and RStudio is the IDE that you need to install. IDE is basically an integrated development environment in which you can use it as a graphical user interface to write the codes. You can write the codes just by installing R, but you cannot write the codes and save it as a script. For that you need the RStudio. So after you download this and you install this, you're going to be getting something like this. When you open up RStudio, you're going to be getting something like this. So I'm going to remove this right now. So this is the graph that we're going to make. So this is a gene expression data, mRNA expression data. So we have the fold change in the y-axis and the treatments in the x-axis. So you do not need to worry about what are the treatments. What is the experiment? Just we're going to make this graph from the values that we got from the experiment. So I'm going to remove this for now. And when you open R, you're going to get this blank environment, this blank RStudio. So the first thing that you need to know is the anatomy of the RStudio program. Now this is the console. You can write your codes over here, and you'll get the results in the console itself. But like I said, if you write in the console, this is basically if you only install R and not RStudio, you'll only get this. So if you write codes, you're going to get the results just fine, but you cannot save this results. You cannot save the script, the codes that you're writing. So for that, we need to make an R script. So you go up to here, you drop it down, and the first option you have is an R script. So you click on that, and it is going to give you another window with the name untitled. So this is basically your R script. The first thing that we are going to do is to rename this, but before that, let's talk about some more stuff. So this is your navigation area. You have your files, and this is the area where you're going to be seeing the plots. You have your packages that you're going to install, and you have help, where you can, if you want to know about a function, you can get the exact, you can get the description of that function from the help tab. And you also have viewer and presentation. So these are not required right now. First, what we're going to do, we are going to set our working directory. So for that, I'm going to navigate through the files to the folder. From the files tab, I'm going to navigate to the folder where I want to keep this R script and where I want to save the data as well. So I'm going to go to my drive. So you just need to navigate to wherever you want to save the R script. So all right, so I want to save it over here. So after you go to that folder through the files tab, you just drop down this more menu, and you are going to get something called set as working directory, right? So when you hit this, you are going to get a line of code over here in the console. So once this is there, that means your working directory is set. Now whatever you do, whatever you save, it's going to be saved in your working directory. Now alternately, what you could have done is you could have written the same exact code over here. So for setting the working directory, you need to write set wd, that is set working directory, and inside brackets you need to give the entire path of the working directory. So if I copy this from here to here, and the path needs to be inside inverted commas. If I paste it over here, and to execute a line inside our script, what you need to do, you need to go to the end of that line and hit Command Enter or Control Enter. So when you hit that, so again you're going to get the same thing in the console. So that means your working directory is set. So over here I want to give you a little bit of pro tip. Whenever you're doing something for the first time, and whenever you're writing a line of code which you want to separate it out, you can put a comment on top. And what a comment exactly does, when you're compiling the code, the compiler would skip that line of comment. Skip that line which you actually marked as comment. So how do you write a comment in our studio? Just put a hash, and then you can write anything you want. So everything is going to be grayed out, whatever you write after the hash. So I'm going to write setting working directory. Right, so whenever you select everything and you hit Control Enter or Command Enter, whatever is there next to a hash is not going to be read as a line of code. The compiler is going to skip that and go to the next line. So the first things first, it's done. The working directory is set. Now what I want to do is I want to save this script. So you go to File, you go to Save As, and you can see in the Finder your working directory is going to open. So you can give it any name and you can save. So I'm going to save it with the name PCR, since we're going to be analyzing a PCR data. So PCR.r, I'm going to hit save, and you can see it appears over here. So, and it also has the date and the time. So this is our R script. So whatever codes we want to write, we're going to write inside this R script. All right. So first, when you start writing codes in R, there's something called base R. You get some functions out of R itself. They are inherently there inside R once you download R Studio and you install R. But we also need some other packages. We need some other functions which are in some other packages which do not come with R inherently. We need to install those packages in order to get those functions. So how do you install a package? You install a package by writing install.package. So you can see the R Studio, it gives you some hints what you want to write, what code or what function you want to write. So I'm going to hit this. So install.packages, and inside this bracket, inside this braces with inverted commas, you're going to write the name of the packages that you want to install. So when I would be taking data, I would be getting the data and putting it into R. I'm going to be taking some Excel data. So the first package that I would want to install is read Excel. So this is going to be my first package that I want to install. Actually, I have all the packages already installed. Just for the demonstration purpose, I'm showing you. The first package that you're going to need for walking through this tutorial is read Excel. Then similarly, you're also going to need something called tidyverse. So tidyverse is a collection of various different packages. So you have the dplyr package, the ggplot2 package, all inside tidyverse. So you don't have to install them separately. And when we draw the graph, we are going to be using this ggplot2 package for for getting some really good functions that we can incorporate into our script. So the second is going to be install a package as tidyverse. Third, it's going to be a package called plottricks. So when we're going to be analyzing the data, we are going to be using standard error of mean that we're going to get from this plottricks package. And finally, the last package that we want to install is called ggsignif. So in the beginning of the video, you saw there were some significance bars on top of the graph. So those things and the star values and the p-values, all those things we are going to be getting from this ggsignif package. So again, I'm going to use a comment on top of this. So installing required packages, and once you write all of this, you can select them all and hit Command Enter. All right. So if I hit Command Enter, so they're saying that you need to update your loaded packages, because I already have the packages installed. I would cancel those. And yeah, they would run some codes, they would run some under the hood things, and your packages are going to be installed. So once you install the packages, the next thing that you want to do is import the libraries. Import the packages into your RStudio. Right now, if you call any function from these packages or these libraries that you've installed, it won't work, because they are just downloaded and installed onto your system. To use them, to use the functions, what you need to do, you need to call those libraries into your environment. So for that, and you need to do this every time when you're opening a new script. So if I close down RStudio right now and then I open it again, so again you need to call those packages or import those libraries. So I'm going to hit a comment over here, importing libraries. And all right, one thing you've noticed, I'm using a return to go to the next line, but when I'm running the codes, I'm going to select that, or I'm going to go to the end of a line and I'm going to hit Command Enter or Command Return. So if you hit only return, it's going to be going to the next line without executing anything. So Command Enter or Control Enter gives you, it will let you execute that line of code that you want to do. So now for importing libraries, what you need to do, you need to write library, and inside the braces, you just need to mention the packages that you want to import. So I'm just going to copy paste it from another script. So these are the 4 libraries that we installed, and now we want to call those libraries. Okay, so again, I'm going to select all of those. So if you want to go for, if you want to separate one line at a time, you just go to the end of the line and hit Command and Enter. But if you want to run multiple lines at a time, you can select those lines and you can hit Command Enter. So you can see in the console down here, these 4 packages are there, which means that all these packages are now called into the R script or the R environment, and we can call the functions from these scripts and we can run the codes. Okay, I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. Alright, so till now what we did was setting up our working directory, install the required packages, and importing the libraries. Alright, so let's keep it up till here for this video, and in the next one we are going to see how we can import data from an Excel sheet and we start cleaning that data, or we start to reorganize that data. So on to the next